All right, so what's new in Scythe 040? I've been working on some new UV tools and texturing tools for a while now, and finally I get to show you guys what I've been working on. I'll just get straight to it. Hotspots. We have hotspots now. Look at that.
You can't keep getting away with it!
You know, what can you do with that stuff now? So if I just make a little bit of a mess here. Do a little of this. Let's make that a little bigger. I'll just select all these and then I'll do the hotspot individual faces, which is Shift F. I've moved invert normals to Shift N, by the way. So Shift F is now this. When I do that, it hotspots each individual face separately. And so you can also select these two and do a normal hotspot, and that'll hotspot over your selection. Just one hotspot over your selection. But it's smart too. So like if I wanted to hotspot these two, there's a pretty sharp corner here. So if I were to hotspot using this, let's get a better roll. You can see it actually cuts itself on this corner instead of doing one big hotspot around this corner, which wouldn't really make sense. So that's that. That's a hotspot. I'm like super excited for this. So what else can you do with these things? Is it just for blocks? No, it's for I would say nearly anything. So I'm gonna switch to my brick texture here, and I'm gonna do this. Whoops, let me turn this on. I've been working in Power 2 mode lately. I've been kind of liking that a bit more. So I'm gonna make this thing probably 256, and I'm just gonna make some walls here. I'm just gonna do this, just some random stuff here. And then I'm going to hotspot. And look at that. Look at that beauty. Yeah, the sun is harsh. But look at that beauty. And if you didn't really like how the hotspot happened here, you can just be like, okay, well, I'll just select those two and do that. Hotspot the individual faces, and now look at that. So these are the two textures that you just saw me demoing. This is a very standard hotspot pattern. And then this one over here is used for walls. This pattern is used for walls mainly. And I'll go into more detail about that in my hotspot video. But these two textures were made by a tech artist named Nick Creasy, very talented guy. And he has made these for Scythe so that you guys can play with them, so you guys have something to use. So big thanks to him. They're going to be non-commercial, obviously, but there should be a link somewhere in the description. So that's hotspotting blocks and hotspotting walls. But can we do anything with trim sheets with this tool? Here's a 512 by 512 texture. This is by Macon. He's a big guy in the Quake mapping community. He makes very Quake resolution textures. So this is very pixely. And that'll help me show like the texel density and the matching with this thing. I'm selecting that material, and I'm just gonna select all these faces and hit Shift F, and there you go immediately. And if I can hit Shift F more, it kind of rolls some more patches for each face here. And that took no time at all. Ridiculously fast. And we could select all these. We could hit Shift F to make it a bit more interesting here. Could even use trims along here. So if I selected those like that and hit Shift H, it'll go along it just perfectly like that. I can select the whole thing like this. Whoops. Let's try that a little better. There we go. Look at that, perfect. And if I want to do the whole face here instead of these two separate faces, Shift H, Shift H, and look at that. That took no time at all. Just beautiful. And this is just two different materials. And this is what this hotspot asset looks like. The difference between this one and this one is that all these patches here just have allow tiling on it, and that's what makes it match with this trim sheet like look to it. If they don't have the tiling on it, I mean, I can kind of show you what would happen. Like, I'll just select the other material here. You know, it stretches them. It would stretch them just along the whole thing. But because we have tiling enabled on it, they'll tile perfectly and keep their texel density and all that stuff and not stretch at all. And speaking of texel density, I mean, look at this. Look at these matches. So everything kind of looks like they belong. Nothing looks out of place. It fits as close as it can, depending on how many matches, of course, that you have. And here's something else that I just thought was cool. Like, you could combine, because we're using Unreal Engine, you could combine nanite tessellation with a trim sheet and get results like this. Like, this took me no time at all to make. You can see it actually makes like extra geo and things, and you know, we're looking at an actual nanite mesh. It's kind of interesting. This probably doesn't look good on the video, but I just thought that was cool. And so what if you have something like this, a texture like this, that's just a single trim-like texture, and you wanted it to act like a trim. Could you do that? Do you have to make a hotspot asset just for that? No, you could just actually just select it. This is that texture material here, and then do this and hit hotspot individual faces, and bam, it's done. It treats it just like that. And I'll actually show you a problem here though. This looks real squished because it is. It's squishing this entire texture into this face. So how do we fix that? If we go over here and do only tiling, it'll force this fake hotspot that it's making, this dummy hotspot, to do only tiling. And so if I do that again, I select the whole thing, Shift F, and now those pixels are nice and square. And then if you get something like this, you can just select it, hit Alt E to mirror it, and now you're back on. And then for something straight like this, you can just hit Shift H or this right here, just a normal hotspot, and they'll all just hotspot together. And there you go. And then this is super exciting. This is nearly as exciting as hotspots. So if I do this and that and just kind of mess it up, you guys were never able to match that. You guys could never put that over here, but now Alt right click, you can do that. This is called wrap texture, and this is something that's standard in Hammer tools, you know, Source 2 Hammer and even the ancient 1999 ones, and now we have it in Unreal, in Scythe. Look at that. So now you can like take your brick textures over here that have a seam on the corner here and just Alt right click, and now it's perfect.
You're goddamn right.
Other than that, there's not much more to 040 other than some crash fixes and bug fixes. I did fix a ton of the apply material crashes. That's the majority of the crashes happening right now, so that should be exciting. If you do crash while you're applying material or applying a hotspot or anything like that, do let me know in the Discord. You can get a link to that in the description. Other than that, that should be it. You can get the full patch notes in the description or in the Discord, and I'll see you guys later.
He can't keep getting away with it!